It will not matter if President Duterte is not anymore in the legal team because there are other lawyers there as well working on the impeachment case.
Ma'am, meron po kayong impeachment battle. That's another legal battle that you're going to, a political battle. How are you preparing for that? Because initially the plan was your father will be there as part of your legal team. Now it looks like nabaliktad and kayo po yung nag-aasikaso ng legal team ng tatay niyo po ngayon sa former president in The Hague. And number two is there has been rumors that another set of warrant is going to be served or going to be enforced, and your name is being mentioned. So how are you preparing for battles of your own when you are, as it is, taking care of your dad?
Yes. So with regard to my impeachment, we already set up the legal team for that as early as 2023 when, as I said, Representative Castro announced that there are impeachment talks inside the House of Representatives. So fortunately, that team is not involved in the ICC case of support the group of lawyers for the ICC case of President Duterte so that they can focus on my impeachment case. As we speak, they are preparing witnesses and they are preparing answers to the articles of impeachment, and they will work on that and they will deal with that impeachment case for me. So the other question is, it will not matter if President Duterte is not anymore in the legal team because there are other lawyers there as well working on the impeachment case. The other question, sorry, I forgot. I missed.
Yeah, meron po kasing rumors, ma'am, na may another set of arrest warrant na i-enforce po sa Philippines and napapangalanan po kayo doon. So how are you taking that po?
Okay. Well, depende. Kung lumabas yung warrant na nandito ako sa The Hague, I will surely talk to another lawyer na para sa akin naman. What are my options legally? Kung ang warrant naman ay dumating na nandyan ako sa Pilipinas, tingnan natin kung anong gagawin ng gobyerno sa akin.
Ma'am, one last question. I don't want to sound cheesy, but it has been a heavy week. And I think my last question would be, how are you?
I'm okay. Surprisingly, I'm okay. Wala naman akong nararamdaman na wala akong nararamdaman. So on that point, I don't think I'm okay. Wala akong nakakatulog naman ako maayos. Siguro dahil sa pagod nung isang buong araw ng meetings dito. At so meron akong saktong tulog, meron akong saktong kain. Ang worry ko lang is yung mga anak ko dahil hindi talaga yan sila sanay na wala ako. Nasanay kasi sila, lumaki kasi sila na katabi ko yan sila sa tulog. At ngayon, yung youngest na anak ko, yan yung katabi ko sa tulog. So, yan yung worry ko, yung aking mga anak. Dahil nawalan sila ng nanay. Yan yung hindi ko kasi magawa remotely, yung pagiging nanay. Pero yung trabaho dito at trabaho dyan sa Pilipinas, kung saan man ako, ay magawa ko siya remotely. So as long as merong mga teams, designated teams na in charge doon. Like say for example, sa OVP, may team doon. Sa impeachment case ko, may team doon. Pagdating naman dito sa ICC case ni Pangulong Duterte, may team dito, kaya ko siya gawin kahit saan man ako sa mundo. Ang hindi ko magawa is maging nanay remotely sa aking mga anak dahil nasanay sila na nandyan ako lagi. Nawala ng kausap yung aking eldest na anak dahil nasanay din yon na kausap niya ako lagi sa mga nararamdaman niya, anong nangyari sa paaralan, ganon. Yung pangalawang anak ko nawalan ng cheerleader dahil pag naglalaro yon sa kanyang soccer at basketball ay nandyan ako lagi talaga. Dala-dala ko yung mga paraphernalia ko, pom-poms, drums, yung mga trotot ko para i-cheer siya. And of course, yung youngest, as I said, nawala ng katabi sa tulog. So yun yung concern ko.
I just want to ask, ma'am, will you be
Um,
formally endorsing Senator Amy Marcos in the elections?
Wala kaming napag-usapan, ma'am, about endorsement ni Senator Amy Marcos. Basta, let me just express my gratitude to Senator Amy Marcos for opening the Senate investigation, no? Para siguro hindi na maulit at para napapag-usapan siya sa loob ng ating pamahalaan at para mailagay officially no yung mga posisyon ng iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang sektor. Kasama din yung posisyon ko as Vice President at yung document na galing sa Office of the President na pirmado ng ating Pangulo.
Ma'am, yung inyong impeachment trial, syempre you mentioned na you have a separate lawyers already preparing for that. How difficult is this for you because you're also taking care of the defense team of your father, former President Duterte, and yung kanyang susunod na hearing will be on September. And there were talks in the Senate na probably baka by September or October magsimula naman yung impeachment trial sa inyo. How will you balance case na
Mhm. Yes, oo. Well, both cases will continue, no? ICC will continue. The ICC case here will obviously continue. Hindi naman ito sila magsasabi na parang hindi na tayo tutuloy at ibabalik natin yung detainee sa Pilipinas. Hindi malabong mangyari yan, no? So magtutuloy siya, yung impeachment case ay tutuloy din at ang paniguraduhin ko lang ay merong grupo ng abogado na nakatutok doon sa dalawang kaso na yon. Ang sa akin na lang naman ay consultation at decision making, no? Sa mga mga bagay na sa tingin nila ay kailangan ng desisyon ng kliyente. Dito naman sa ICC case, sa mga bagay na kailangan ipresenta sa ating Pangulo para kasi siya ang kliyente.
Ma'am, last na lang po on my end. Nagkausap na rin po ba kayo ni Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa because he is also among the list of alleged suspects or yung next na masaserve ng warrant?
Hindi pa kami nagkausap ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. Mag-ingat siya at lahat ng mga nandoon na, na mga complaints ng mga former uh, police, PNP personnel, officers, mag-ingat sila dahil kung meron mang sinasabi na merong warrant, ay malamang merong warrant yan dahil nakita natin na meron ngang warrant of arrest dito kay Pangulong Duterte. Ang sa akin lang din, no, na observation ba, noong nakaupo ako doon sa gallery ng ICC at nakikinig sa initial appearance ni Pangulong Duterte. A total of 43 cases. Nasaan na ang libo-libo na mga kaso na sinasabi ng ating mga complainants na crimes against humanity. 43 murder cases. Hindi ko dinidiscount yung 43 na sinasabi nila allegedly na namatay ha. Pero crimes against humanity is a serious accusation na lagi nilang paulit-ulit na sinasabi, 6,000, 9,000, 10,000, 40,000, 50,000 ang mga namatay. And they cannot even come up with 100 names ng mga namatay ng supposed war on drugs, which amounts to crimes against humanity. Nagiging, alam mo, nahihiya ako as a Filipino citizen ngayon eh. Nagiging, katatawanan tayo ng buong mundo na merong isang bansa na binibigay ang kanyang citizen sa isang foreign jurisdiction, foreign organization. Hindi ginagawa yan ng mga bansa. In fact, tayo nga sa loob ng Pilipinas, every time may OFW na convicted abroad, ginagawa natin ng paraan na magkaroon siya ng pardon para maibalik siya sa Pilipinas. Ito sa atin ngayon ay kabaliktaran. Akusado lang ng 43 cases, 43 counts of murder, ibinigay natin sa isang foreign jurisdiction without any legal basis at all. Nahihiya ako humarap sa buong mundo na ganito mag-isip ang ibang mga kasamahan natin dyan sa bayan, ibang mga Pilipino.